Want to go right to Jimmy. You teased a Joan Collins story.
Literally, and I mentioned this on Twitter yesterday and Facebook, worst celebrity I've ever met in my life.
Wow. Now, that is saying a lot from Jimmy. Jimmy will judge a celebrity.
I was walking out, and I see our booker, Spencer. And I heard him saying something about Joan Collins. So, she's an icon from my childhood. I mean, come on. So,
how old is she?
Well, she's 79.
79.
Which I didn't know.
She's 79. Yeah. Oh, boy.
Does she look good?
No.
Wait, you saw her in person?
Sure. Oh, yeah. So Spencer goes to Joan Collins. Yeah. I'm like, she's here? He goes, well, she just checked in. So I'm like, oh, okay, I'll see about getting a photo with her. It was like an opportunist thing. If it happens, great. If not, no big deal. So Spencer goes, I don't know if it'll happen because she's, last night was saying she didn't want any videos or photos. She got in late or whatever. Oh, but that didn't bother me. A lot of times, females, celebrities, especially older women, want to be camera ready when they're photographed. Again, that's when Diana Ross said no to me after a flight. Yoko Ono, I had to wait 40 minutes for her to get makeup after her interview. They just, they're getting older, and they worry about pictures of them surfacing where they look terrible because they wind up on the internet. Like, I don't mind that.
So Joe Pesci wanted to put all his makeup on, and that's why he didn't take a photo with me?
Yep.
That's, you know what, probably a big part of it.
Son of a bitch.
But they worry about how they're going to look online. That one picture winds up on TMZ. Joan Collins looking dead. Like, I get that.
Well, I also flew all night from L.A., so I'm going to look like shit as well in the picture.
Yeah, but he didn't care. He didn't want a photo with you. That's like...
No, I'm just fucking making a joke. But I didn't mean that.
That's the thinking, though. Like, they worry it's going to show up online.
Right.
So I was kind of prepared for that. And he's talking to Joan and her handler or whatever. And then he starts walking by me, and he shakes his head no. Quietly. And I was okay with that. I'm like, you know what? I didn't even ask. It wasn't a big deal. I really was not miffed about it. I got it. So she's walking by, and I just put my hand out, because I was just going to go, hey, like,
Cop a feel?
Yeah, grab her tits, take her hat off, ruffle her hair. So I put my hand out. She puts her hand up and brushes my hand away and says, I don't shake hands. And walks by.
Worst person to do that to.
Without looking at me. And here's the kicker.
You were dismissed.
She had gloves on.
Oh, my God.
This rotten old bitch. It was almost like a scene from an 80s movie of the rough and tumble kid who moves to Beverly Hills, and that was the snooty, cunty person.
Yeah.
I don't shake hands. But not a hello or a thank you. Or like, what an ungracious, aging bag of meat. Fuck her. And she had an old like Jiffy Pop hat on and a cloak, and she literally was dressed like the Elephant Man when he was riding the train.
Is that her from yesterday?
Let me see. I didn't.
Because when she puts on her makeup, she looks terrific.
She sure does. And
she looks wonderful.
You throw that image up on the computer and you fucking Photoshop it a little bit. So I didn't see that lady walking by.
Oh, you didn't see that, huh?
But what bothered me so much, it wasn't even that she didn't want to shake hands. Because a lot of guys, Howie Mandel doesn't shake hands. Stephen Wright, Paul Mooney.
It was how she dismissed you.
Dude, she literally didn't look like, I don't shake hands. And I was like, what an ungracious.
What did you say to her?
At that moment, I went,
oh, too bad.
Because it was a work thing. She's here at my job.
I would have had no problem saying something.
She thinks she's that diva from the TV show.
Yeah, but you know what? You're not that lady anymore. You're fucking 80.
Why is she here?
She was just doing press for something.
For what, though?
I don't know.
Okay.
Silk pillows
I'm not sure.
us.
Hopefully it's her farewell tour. But I didn't want to get into a whole thing here at work. Because, again, she's not here for me. She's here I had a chance encounter with her. She's not here for me. So fuck me. I don't want to interfere with the other shows. Damn. So I went on Twitter and I said, I just met the biggest cunt of a celebrity that I ever met. But then I went home and I Googled her, and I'm like, I realized she was 79. That's why I took that tweet down yesterday.
Oh.
Nobody asked me to. But I realized I don't want to be on Twitter calling some 79-year-old lady a cunt. It's just, she's a bitch.
Well, was she?
She totally.
All right, then you should have kept it up there.
It's just, it's an easy target. She's not a tough challenge to do that to.
Yeah, but still, man, she deserved it.
I believe I wrote on Facebook what happened.
But she deserved it. She was a complete twat to you.
She was, but again, she
could at least be polite as a human being.
It's like
to dismiss you like that and throw her arm in the air.
Absolutely. but I just didn't want to call an 80-year-old woman a cunt on Twitter because I know the fans would go after her. So I directed, I wrote to her, you're just an ungracious. I forget what I wrote, but something I wrote, I said something unpleasant to her, but I didn't want to do it in some, I just didn't want to say that to her, because believe me, I wanted to say that to her, but I didn't want to say that to her, because she's, again, an old lady. It doesn't take a tough guy to call an old lady a
But she also, I'm sure she acted the same way when she was 40, though.
Dude, you know what? Tom Papa said that to me. She was probably the same bitch.
Right, so when you're calling her a cunt, just imagine you're calling her a cunt when she was 40.
And she is a cunt, but I just didn't want to, whatever. It was really, what a terrible old woman. What an irrelevant, rotten old woman. You're not the sexy, sassy, you're fucking 80, you ungracious bat. Like, you meet, like, Cloris Leachman or Betty White.
Yeah.
These are nice people.
Really nice. They were funny people. She's that, has the wine glass in her hand, and she's at the big estate, and she's talking all bitchy. Well, we'll buy him out and fire the whole lot of the... Like, every character. Yeah. What was it, Dynasty?
Yeah.
Is that what she was on? She thinks she's fucking... What was her name? Carrington or something?
Something like that, yeah.
What a delusional old bag of meat.
Fuck her.
With her gloves on. You old germ freak. I hate germ freaks, much less really old ones.
You think it's germs, or you think it might be the fact that her hands look so bad? Those 80-year-old woman hands.
Well, she had gloves on. She could have with the gloves. Maybe that's a part of it, though. You know what?
But she wears gloves to fucking cover up the fact that...
That's a great point.
Hands look like the Grim Reapers.
Yeah, but she just sucked.
She's a debutante, man. They wear gloves and stuff. They don't show their hands.
Really?
Worst celebrity I have ever fucking met. Ever.
Worst?
Dude.
What's your top 5?
She's by far the worst.
Who else could you throw in that list real fast? Top of your head.
I don't know if I've had that many bad experiences.
Jeter?
Yeah, Jeter was bad, unfortunately. I've softened on him, but he has been. He was bad. Robinson Cano is a douche.
What do you know?
A lot of Yankees.
Yeah, athletes.
The giant.
LeBron wasn't great, even though he did take the picture with me, but I saw him again at UFC, and he kind of blew Bobby off, and he was really dismissive. He wasn't great.
He's taking pictures with chicks.
Yeah. But that's right, you were there. He wasn't terrible, but he wasn't great either. Who's another basket? Another athlete, another douche athlete. Another one of the Heat. The one that looks like a fucking alien.
Chris Bosh.
Yeah, he's a cocksucker. I met him at Fashion Week. There was no one around him but his handlers. I asked him for a picture. He was like, nah, that's you fucking cunt.
Ronnie B said that Joan Collins was the sweetest lady he's ever met.
Yeah, Ron must have had a different experience.
That was fucking...
Ronnie rules.
Ron's hilarious. I guess he read... Your tweet.
Or she wasn't taking pictures with anybody. Or she wasn't being nice to any... Well, she had a nice conversation with Sway, I heard.
Oh, really?
Well, of course she did.
That's the whole thing,
of course she did. Because you know that fake old bitch isn't going to be that snotty old white lady to a young hip-hop guy or a guy she sees as a young... Of course not. She's a fake.
Right.
Exactly. She probably drops N-bombs like crazy around her house.
No, she's just an elitist old bag. But again, I didn't care about the picture. It was just, and it wasn't even that she was shaking hands.
You cared.
Nah,
you cared. You wanted that one.
I get it.
You got a picture with her, E-Rock?
No. But Jim's Facebook posting, the way you ended it was funny, where you're saying you're no longer your character from Dynasty. You look more like Larry Hagman on Dallas.
No, I was saying that you're going to be at your age. I meant she's almost ready to die because he's dead. That was about her dying almost.